So as we've mentioned already in a few different videos this week, guild battles in their classic form are done. We had the last one on August 6th. Now they're being split off into two different things: guild rival battles and world guild battle. Today we're going to do a quick video just going over some basic defenses and strategies for the new world I was gonna say world rival battles for the new world guild battle. It really shouldn't be that hard for me to remember what I was supposed to say. So, oh, you guys can't see. It's so small. That's what she said. Attack members will have 2 attack chances, and each battle consists of 5 rounds in total. So more battles altogether than the regular guild battles, but 2 attack chances of 5 rounds. The beautiful thing about 5 rounds is, just like the traditional guild battles, you can't use the same units over and over and over again. So if you were using Lucian for all 3 of your different guild battle attacks before in at least one of the teams, now you use Lucian significantly less. So for example, if you want to use Lucian against one of the 5 defenses, well, you can only use it for one of the 5 defenses. That does bring a little bit more strategy. You have to build a little bit more units than, I mean, I think many people at this point have a lot of these units built already. But you do have to use more than just a couple gimmick units over and over and over and over again. Like for Guild Siege, for high-level Guild Siege, there's so many people that build like multiple werewolves or water howls or things of that nature. So, or multiple Skogls, right? So you're not going to see the same thing in these world guild battles. So let's see a little bit more. So we have 2 rounds of 5 defenses, as I already mentioned. Think strategy, kind of more like Guild Siege than Guild Wars, than traditional classic Guild Wars, where stacking many similar defenses adds value. For example, if you only have 1 unit that prevents revive, you have like 1 Fire Hell Lady, right? Then you use that against, if your opponent stacks 5 defenses that are all some kind of combination of revivers, we're going to see that in a second, and you only have 1 thing to prevent revive, then that revive defense gets stronger and stronger and stronger as time progresses. So just take that into consideration. There's even more value if the entire guild does. You can't just copy the same defense over and over and over 5 times. Like if you hit a Guild Siege tower, then you can hit 5 Molong, Molly, Savannahs, right? You may, if you need to take that tower and your other guild mates are not available, then you may have to hit that defense 5 times. So a lot of people in higher guilds may already be prepared for something like this, but just take into consideration that similar defenses, like for example revives, or just super tanky defenses in general, if 5 super tanky defenses are stacked, or 5 super fast aggressive defenses are stacked, they gain value the more you stack them. So kind of like Siege. Don't full helmet team it. This is just Guild Wars 101, Guild Siege 101. Don't put like, I don't know, Eladriel, Wind Monkey, and Ritesh. This is something that people do. I know you guys like this is obvious, but there's still so many people that do it. So many people that do it. They've been doing it for years. I keep saying to not do it, and they're like, oh, did he say to not do that? Oh, well, but I want the Eladriel leader skill. He doesn't understand that Eladriel's got a 50% HP leader. Like, I know. It's still don't do it. Still don't do it. So this is kind of interesting. 2 interesting things, food for thought. Although 5 of the same element for the entire guild may yield interesting results. So let's say, I'm just more curious about this than anything. I feel like it would do slightly better than usual if the entire guild stacked all fire defenses for every defense, and then the opponents are like, I'm starting to run out of water things at a certain point. So that's kind of curious. May yield some interesting results, may actually get some wins if the entire guild does it. But if the entire guild does anything and works together, that's already that is the power. It's not the power of the fire, just all fire defenses. It's the power of the entire guild doing any specific gimmick together is how you have some real power. How many times am I going to say power? Another thing that's interesting, Lucianable defenses might actually not be as bad, since you can only Lucian once and the other 4 defenses are going to be safe from Lucian. So you may get some more value out of things that normally would just be Lucian food. Like don't use that defense that's Lucian food. You could just bait 1 Lucian and then have another 4 that could be Lucian food that don't get Lucianed. So let's take a look at some defense. This is what I was talking about. Speaking of Eladriel there, yeah, so this is just, it's super easy to just bring fire unit and solo, even solo the first one. Not that you really even need to solo for these world guild battles. water units, just bring whatever element has element advantage and just destroy these. This has been the thing for all of Summoner's War, like in the entirety that guild content has been out, or arena content, or any PvP, just any PvP. Let me just broaden this even more. Guys, if you're early game, casual, whatever, in any gacha game, don't put the same element defense for your defenses. If your entire arena defense is just all fire units, that's also not good. Just extrapolate that any gacha game, any single one. So this is some current meta budget-friendly defenses. Just in case you guys need something, you guys are going to see some things in a second, which are not very super meta, free-to-play, budget-friendly. So these ones are more free-to-play, budget-friendly versions. So they're just fast, and some of these are pretty tanky. Fast is as much stats as you can get. That's kind of what these are. So this is going to be some nice ones. I just wanted to put some nice budget-friendly options for you guys. So tanky defenses here. So here's one of the things. If you guys notice, we have wind, water, fire. We have wind, water, fire. We have wind, water, fire. Are you guys seeing a pattern? We have wind, water, fire. We have wind, water, and that's a light one. But just different anyone that's been playing the game for a long time already knows all of this. This is nothing new. But also keep in mind, we have strippers here, random defense break. We have defense breaks here. We have sustain here. We have sustain here. We have strips here. We have pure damage, which doesn't need a strip or anything. HP leads. Like if you're gonna be tanky, be tanky. Right? If you're going to be fast and aggressive, be fast and aggressive. Don't just be aggressive and slow, because then you're going to lose. Be fast and aggressive, or be tanky and have a lot of damage mitigation, have a lot of resistance, have a lot of effective HP, have some shields in there, have some HP leader skills. So, let me just guild content 101. I feel like I'm preaching to the choir. A lot of you guys already know this. I don't want to tell you things that you already know. But we also have some pure damage from a couple of these. We have strips here. I already mentioned this. We have strips here. We have strips here. We have a random defense break target, or random defense break target selection. Then we have some big damage and pure damage here as well. And then we have revives just in case we need to revive there. We have some sustain just in case we need to sustain there. These are just some of these are defenses that I just took from other people's defenses. I was like looking around at defense of like, okay, what's things in the meta? These are some meta defenses. We'll just stick them in here to show people. These you've seen a million. I feel like everyone has seen these two defenses a million times before. The thing about this, I know people are gonna be like, oh, there's no CR. That you could put a CR there. More people have put CR here. This is just a more tanky version of that CR defense. Actually, people putting him here now. People putting Dominic for this, but you can't use Dominic for multiple ones. So these are just some ideas. These are just some options for full tanky defenses, multicolors. Because again, you can't use the same unit more than once. So even though Dominic is good here, we can't stick him here again. Even though Molong could be good in a couple of these other ones, we can't stick Molong in again. We can't stick Molly in again. We can't stick Savannah in again. So we're trying to use other units and stick everything in as well. So we've got some fast aggressive defenses, just some different options for fast aggressive ones. Speed leads, swift units, a lot. So this is the CR Orion Perna, as I know, because I know people are gonna mention that. I'm like, you should have done the CR Orion Perna. I don't know why you didn't do that. So these are just the fast aggressive options. Some of these, I know a lot of people can build these at this point of the game. It's not like Nat 5s are impossible to get, especially 8 years into the game. You either have them already, or even for new players, it's much easier than ever to actually get them. And then we have some gimmick teams. So these gimmick, not necessarily that it has to be this specific gimmick, but I feel like gimmick teams actually have more value for this new content than previously, because previously, like, if you got to hit a full team of, or a full defensive revivers in Guild Siege, you can hit 2 teams, a guildmate can hit 2 teams, another guildmate can hit 1 team, and you take that tower. For this one, you have to hit all of these revive teams. You may not have solutions for all of these revive teams. I tried to make revive teams that actually made sense. This one's a little, I was running out of stuff. I'm like, let's see what we got. Because we have 2 revivers. We have the passive revive here. We have revive here. We have revive here. We have revive here. I also wanted to put some strips in here as well. Make sure they have some strips. Make sure they have some damage, because you can't just have no damage for these things. We got revive here, revive here, revive here, revive here, And then we have some revives here, revives here. We have some sustain on all of them. We have some random strippers and defense breakers. We have strippers, we have defense breakers, better even strips with skill 1. Artemis strips over here. We got some pure damage over here. We got random defense if he's got some revenge or whatever. Or if he just gets, you know, violent procs, he's defense breaking some random stuff. And between Artemis and the Light Pioneer, whose name that I will get flagged if I say his name, because this is YouTube, whatever. I don't know. Anyway, just some food for thought for the upcoming World Guild Battles. World Guild Battles. There you go. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys got something out of it. Just some food for thought. I will see you as always in the next one.